Hey gang, Will here from the Ashland Fly Shop. Welcome back to the regionally famous Ashland Fly Shop fishing report for mid-May. Thank you so much for tuning in. We were not scheduled to do this today, but when you have a hair day like I'm having, you get on camera as soon as you can. So let's go. All right, we're hopping right in with the Rogue because unless you live under a rock as an angler, you know that the salmon fly hatch is fastly approaching, is tentatively underway on the upper Rogue, and we want to talk about it. We want to talk about conditions and stuff like that. So we're going to hop right into that. The Upper Rogue River. So they, as I mentioned in our sort of preview, and if you've been following along, they typically increase the flows this time of year to push the smolt out as well as bring spring Chinook in, and that's exactly what's happening. So flows have gone from about 800, we were seeing at the lowest point a couple weeks back, they're up to 1,600 out of the dam. Which is great. That's a great height. It's probably 1,800 at Dodge or 1,700. There's not much more coming in. So that whole upper section, which opens on Saturday or Friday? 22nd, which I think is Saturday. So that is going to be about 1,600, which is very floatable, very fishable, very wadeable, really a good flow. So I think it's really going to be game on. So good flows for the Holy Water, good flows for the Upper Rogue. Now, the first thing that we're going to see is, our guided trips and fishing taking place on the upper section of the Rogue, which is from the hatchery, down to about Shady Cove. We have been getting some feedback about bugs out. The last most current feedback was that, there were some bugs out. Last year we saw really like a bulk of the hatch happen in this week leading up. So I don't think that's the case this year, which is awesome. So we do have some cold weather we're experiencing now, which is great. That can kind of put the brakes on the hatch a little bit. So that timing on that is really, really nice. So I think we should be full steam ahead. The weather looks good going into next week, not too hot. So we should have that great opener and the fish are going to be anticipating. There's no doubt that they have seen some salmon flies. So there's definitely going to be fish in there that are looking for those bugs. So we should have some pretty good activity right off the bat for floating the upper river. And typically how that happens is, that upper stretch all the way to Shady Cove can be pretty good, and even downstream can be okay. And then that quickly starts to kind of move upstream. I would give it about a week going to Shady Cove and then really confining that float to the hatchery to Rogue Elk. That can be where we really see the bulk of the fishing happening as we get into like the 1st of June and stuff like that. So we're super excited about it. That upper stretch, there's good places to walk in. You've got Casey Park, Rogue Elk Park, a couple little secret spots that, if you drive along, you can kind of see where you can get in there, a couple bridge accesses and things like that. So not the best walk-in access in that section, but there is a handful of places to walk in and beat around. So go for it, check it out, and then what I'm going to do is kind of wrap this up, and we'll do a little chunk on the Holy Water as well, which will be the next thing to happen kind of concurrently, but will follow the Upper Rogue salmon fly hatch. So get your bugs. We've been going through them like crazy. We've got great selection of bugs in here. As we've talked about in our preview, you really want a well-rounded selection. We can certainly help you put that together. Do not use 5X. Don't be that guy or gal, and be cool out there. And okay, Holy Water. Holy Water, this is it. We get calls all for the last 3 weeks. Is it on? Is it on? Is it on? I'm in New Mexico. I'm in Colorado. I'm in Washington. No, it's not quite on yet. But if you watch our stuff, you know that you can go up to the Holy Water on the early end, and you can flop a salmon fly around, and the chances are you're probably going to hit a fish. And that has happened in the last week or so. So even before the hatch really gets up there in earnest, there are fish that see the larger flies. They are anticipating this event, and they're going to start looking for them. Is it going to be lights out? Probably not. Are you going to turn a good fish? You very well could. So holy water, as it works upstream, the hatch, I would give it another week. Maybe even by mid next week, it should be happening pretty good. There should be bugs out. As soon as we get through this cold weather and we'll see that warmer weather come in, that warmer weather, it really feeds that activity, gets those fish going, gets those bugs going, excuse me, gets them in the air. So the first thing that happens with those bugs is they really get in the air, and we don't see them on the water as much as we do in the later part of the hatch. So don't freak out if you go up there, bugs everywhere, and they're not really on the water. All I can say is go back and watch our salmon fly previews and stuff so you can get an idea of kind of the cycles of the hatch and how to be kind of prepared for that. Because the hatch at the Holy Water has a lot of different faces to it. There can be tons of bugs out and the fishing can suck. There can be no bugs out and the fishing can be lights out. So you need to go up there a few times, go back and check that out. You also need to have a variety of flies, I would say 6 patterns at minimum, so you can switch things up because there's not a ton of room to roam on the Holy Water. You're going to be fishing in the same place a fair amount. You need to rotate flies. You need to have a strong floatant game. So get it together, get up there. I don't want to hear the whining after the hatch. We've told you what to do. Don't be an asshole. Be cool up there. Don't crowd people. Okay, I'm done. I can't take it anymore. I'm stoked. I'll see you guys up there. Just going to do a NorCal roundup. It's trout, it's trout, it's trout. It's on. It's the best time of the year. McLeod reports have been solid. Upper Sac reports have been solid. Pitt reports have been solid. It's time to fish. You need to take the time now to go fish. You've got 6 weeks probably of good fishing until we get into Armageddon heat and low water and fires and death and plague and everything else. So now is the time to enjoy yourself in the fly fishing spectrum. But yeah, all the NorCal rivers are just a good place to be right now. This is when you're going to see most of the dry fly activity of the year. You want to have your mayflies together, your salmon flies, stone flies, dry dropper, nymphs are always going to work. You've got fish looking for food out there. So happy to talk to you about any of the rivers I mentioned and more. But again, we're just going to do that quick little roundup for you. Time to get out there and go fishing. We love NorCal. We'll definitely be down there in the next few weeks, and we'll be bringing you more up-to-date reports. But some good fishing happening out there right now. We'll talk a little bit about Stillwater. Yes, this is the time. So, boy, it's been some good bass activity. The guys here at the shop have been poking around, fishing for bass a bit more, and been really having a great time and really getting a lot of good feedback from some of the local places, even Immigrant Lake and some of the spots. So that's good. Trout is going to be good. Klamath Lake should be full steam ahead. I'm sure we've seen ice break up well on Diamond, and people are probably just starting to poke around up there. So Stillwater is full steam ahead. Should be some really good fishing happening up there now, with fish still cruising the shallows. I'm sure you don't have to fish too deep yet. Fish should still be in shallow water, so intermediate lines, fishing from the shore or fishing back to shore from your boat. Damselflies, little leeches, things like that should be good, or your chironomid balanced leech game. That's going to be really solid as well right now. So all area lakes should be firing good. Haven't heard too much from Klamath Basin. Wood River opened in April. Haven't heard much about that. And then We do see the Williamson Open here at this weekend coming up, May 22nd. So we'll start giving you that feedback as well. We love the Williamson, and we have a great guide out there that keeps us up to date on that. So, so that should be some good stuff too. But Stillwater should really be game on right now. And that's what we got for you. Short and sweet. Not a lot of time to give a report. There's too much fishing to be done. I'm fishing all the time. I just got back from Mexico. That was great fishing. I'm ready to do some more fishing and get all my gear out and fish and fish. So, love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Call us if we can give you any up-to-date information. Hit the subscribe button if you like what you see. And don't be afraid to shop online with us. We'll treat you right. All right. Take care. Thanks so much.